It's 6 p.m., October 21st, 2025. We'll open up the annual meeting of Lakeview Fire District. So we'll go ahead and stand for the pledge and for the prayer. Let's pray. Lord, thank you for that, all that you do for us and give us each day as we go out through this meeting, going over the year's finances and everything, and voting for new nominees. Just guide our hands and direct us in the way that you'd like for us to go. And as we go out through the rest of the week, care for us. In your name we pray. Amen. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, Miss Sonia, we need to do a roll call, please.
I will. Brandon,
Here.
Sonia's here, Daniel,
Here.
Paul,
Here.
Doug,
Here.
Brandon, Mike.
Here.
Tried to get Brandon here twice.
I thought you said my name.
You did.
I was wondering if I was just here.
I'm as bad at this as I am a copy and paste.
All right, reading of the previous minutes. Miss Sonia?
No, just a second, catch up.
Take your time.
Okay. This is from the annual meeting last year, 10/15/24. Meeting called to order by Brandon at 7. Pledge and prayer was Brandon. Members present: Brandon, Sonia, Daniel, Paul, Doug, Mike. Absent was Daryl Oden. Prior minutes, Sonia read the minutes from the 2023 members meeting. Motion to approve with corrections by Daniel. Second by Paul. Approved by all. Treasurer's report: Doug reviewed the financial dashboard for the 2023-24 fiscal year. Motion to accept by Paul. Second by Sonia. Approved by all. He then reviewed the proposed budget for the next fiscal year. Daniel made a motion to approve. Second by Paul. Approved by all. Chief's report was presented by Chief Doyle. Year-to-date calls was 1,128, 102 for Aberdeen. New equipment has been purchased via county, city, and grants. 2 firefighters completed firefighter 1 and firefighter 2. 1 firefighter completed EMT and 2 in EMT school and or waiting to take National Registry. Election for board members as follows. Seat 1, full term, was Brandon, nominated by Doug, unopposed. Seat 3, full term, Paul, nominated by Janet Wilson, unopposed. Seat 5 was a partial term until 2026. Angela Bellin was nominated by Daniel Stroop and was unopposed. Membership business: Janet Wilson made a motion to change the bylaws to add board members must own property to be on the deed. Mary Christensen seconded the motion. Brandon advised that in a letter from our attorney, Stephanie Weems, per state law, board members must be a qualified elector and reside in the district. She further advised that additional changes to the bylaws may open the district up to potential lawsuits and require legislative action. Motion was withdrawn. Daniel Griffin made a motion that all bylaw change requests must be submitted in writing and will be addressed at the next monthly meeting. Second by Kelly Rowland, approved by all. Martha McFarland made a motion to change all the meeting times to 6 p.m. Second by Doug, approved by all. Public comment: Doug made a motion to adjourn. Second by, well, I guess there was no public. Doug made a motion to adjourn. Second by Daniel, approved by all at 7:40.
I believe, and the minutes were approved, the following monthly meeting, but I do believe there are some changes that should have been, or some corrections that should have been made that are not namely the bylaw change request that I put forth is not that the change request will be submitted in writing and addressed at the next monthly meeting. Is that the bylaw change request must be submitted by the prior monthly meeting to be submitted to the annual meeting. Essentially, you have to put your bylaw changes in, submit them to the office before the annual meeting so that they can be reviewed by the attorney, make sure we're not putting up a bunch of stuff that gets us in trouble and that sort of thing.
Okay.
That was the way that bylaw change read. It's, the bylaw change is recorded properly, but the minutes were incorrect on that. And it's clearly
And
not, you submitted.
I think I did maybe correct them after that. I'll have to go back in my files and look, cause I think I remember us bringing that up before. I just have to look and see. But if not, I will fix that.
It makes no sense to say, you know, submit your bylaw change request to the board and then we'll take it up at the next monthly meeting when you can't make bylaw changes at a monthly meeting.
You got that, Ms. Simon?
I got it.
So, the membership, I need a motion to approve the reading of the minutes from last year.
With correction.
With corrections, like,
Make a motion approved.
Got it.
Minutes read from last year with.
I think it needs to come from the floor tonight.
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
He's
Shut up.
a member.
Well, yeah, he is a member, that's true, so.
So who
It's
made?
got-
I didn't
not
remember
on
to
the
make a
floor.
motion, but these minutes have already been accepted. They were accepted almost a year ago. They're just misread tonight.
All right.
Alright.
So we're good.
So, yeah, they don't get to do that, the members are supposed to do that on the floor.
All right. All right. So we're just basically rereading the
You know,
minutes.
we reread them because members need to read technically, we need to read the accepted version of the minutes to the membership at the annual meeting, but we've got the original minutes instead.
All right, reports, treasury report.
Our finances for the fiscal year that just ended last month, we budgeted, as far as revenue, we budgeted 300, and we spent, 343, 710, 17. Fire dues came under budget, unfortunately that's life here, like you. Donations, we greatly exceeded what we budgeted, fire recovery, business office fees. We went over, we did very well on recovery of delinquent dues. We budgeted that we would get 30,000, and we got 50. For expenses, we budgeted 375, 300. That we spent 384, 971, 97. We've got some categories we went over and some categories we went significantly under. But just that dollar amount, basically, that's the money that we put into our part of insulating Station 2. Any questions?
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
Okay. I remember, and I missed some meetings, the last months. I remember, at the March meeting, we had 85,000, 307 in money market account, 38,000 in checkbook account. Okay, at the end of August, we had 40,000 in March it said money market account, and then in August it said savings, and it's 40,070, and I remember when they had to take out 10,000 for insurance and something, and all, but is there a money market account, or is it just a savings account?
It's
or
a
what?
savings account. The bank had gave us bad direction on that money market account. We couldn't have it, so we had to put it back in a traditional savings account.
Well, last month, something said about it was 32,000 off budget, for the years at that point, and said at the August meeting, what's gonna happen if this increase doesn't pass, and when does it go into effect if it does pass?
The little bit that passed before, is this billing cycle. If just the regular homes, for lack of a better description, passes in November, it won't be till next October.
But we'll get the, businesses, the, mobile homes and townhomes, and what else did we pass? And it was mobile homes, businesses, and like townhomes and condos and stuff, all passed.
Multi-family residential.
Multi-family residences, those will take effect this year, if I'm not mistaken.
And only mobile homes not assessed by the county, so if your mobile home is billed on your taxes, then it would just be billed as a regular dwelling.
Correct, it's only mobile homes that are not affixed to the land through title surrender, which, I think that's a lot of the ones we have in this area, isn't it?
It's about 50 cities.
I think a lot of like the rentals and stuff like that are not affixed.
Did you do the new operating budget for?
I mean, it's a different page. I was waiting to see if we're finished with this before we went to that.
Any other questions on the last year's budget review?
What was the dues and subscriptions?
It went over because we bought that new software at the end of the year, and we had to go ahead and pay for it. So it went over
For
the new reporting
Firefighter.
software.
That's for the nearest transition. So FEMA is going away from what we've always had of NIFRS, and they're going to a new software program requirements, it's called NEARS. And all the departments everywhere have to transition to NEARS by January 1st. And the reporting software that we had is not compatible with NEARS, and they don't plan to be. So we had to change reporting software after we had already paid our yearly for the one we currently had. So we had to buy a new one.
Basically, because of timing, we had to pay for two different ones this year, just a different entity here.
How'd you say it was connected to FEMA?
That's where you get grants and everything else through. You gotta have everything in NEARS, because when they pull your records, so we submit and say we do X, Y, Z, they're gonna go to NEARS and pull that information and confirm it.
State Fire Marshal is geared up, he's trying, his department is trying to get everybody compliant to NEARS, because if you're not compliant with NEARS, you will not get a federal grant, and may not even get a state grant even. So that's why, I mean, even the smallest departments out there, like, that run 5 or 6 calls a month, will have to comply to this too, to be able to get a federal grant. And, the software like we had before was ERS, and that's what they're saying now, it's, what's the name of this one?
First Due.
First Due. It's just the same it's a different type of software is what we had.
It does the same thing, it just does it different.
Yeah.
What would be the
Pretty much.
annual, what would be the annual subscription, I mean,
What was the total?
I want to say 7,000. I thought it was 7,000.
I was thinking 6,500.
So it went up a little more than what we were paying for emergency reporting. But with First Due, we're eliminating some other ones. So as far as reporting softwares and dues and subscriptions in general, we had emergency reporting that we use for reporting. We had Vector Solutions or CrewSense that we use for scheduling. So we had 2 subscriptions.
That's
First
right.
due, we're cutting both of them and combining everything with first due.
Putting them
We're
in
doing
one.
everything in one.
And I think it was only the initial
Initial
cost
was
of
like,
it was a
I
little
wanna
more.
say $500-600 higher, and then it drops off
Yeah.
for your annual.
And the, overage of $9,000 in the office.
Due to the total.
That was
Due
the
to the
low
other,
base.
so-
To the vote.
Oh. That one never was, okay.
I'll point out that we budgeted for new equipment but spent 0 solely because we got very blessed with grants this year.
Cause any invoices come out yet?
They're in the end,
Yeah,
Did I
we,
read
but
that
the way we did it this year is we did people that own one piece of property, like you got one house and no lots, because of the way that the new building is. So, we're halfway of 2,000 invoices, I got probably close to 1,000 now. And then now we'll go back and put in the people like, if you own a house and a lot, and about 10 lots, so they'll come next.
Did we do anything with hydrants?
yeah, we got some grant stuff
I'm
on
not
that.
saying, yeah, not.
No, not the grants, it was some money from the city.
Yeah, I was about to say, we did, but it wasn't money we had to put out.
What about new equipment? Same thing?
Same thing, that was grants and working with the city.
So we didn't need no public safety.
It was donated.
About to say, that was donated, plus we got some from National Volunteer Fire Alliance. That was free.
Miscellaneous 500, we didn't use any of that either. What were we not talking about?
I won't say.
Insurance, I mean, the insulation at Station 2.
It was,
We paid, what,
yeah.
8,500, 9,000, something like that?
Utility and ground.
Is that
supply.
part of
That-
the 11 that's over on building?
Exactly, yes ma'am.
What I think was the city secured some grant money and came to us and said, hey, we'll help you build out Station 2, but you have to pay a certain amount towards this.
Yeah, the city got a grant for 10 and we paid the difference.
I was about to say, I think the total was 18,500 or 19 in total. The city got a grant for 10,000 and we had to pay the remainder.
And all y'all did was put insulation in.
Sprayed the
That's,
entire,
yeah,
yeah. Walls and ceiling, I think.
walls, ceiling, everything.
Alright, Doug. This new,
Budget for the new year, we budgeted, for income and, expenses, 385, 800. It's only 10,000.
well, we
just
went
under-
off the actual numbers. on
Yeah.
the- from last year.
Yeah, and we tried to the best we could, I believe, on like the dues that we knew were going up. Because that part passed to adjust those numbers some, is where the almost $10,000 increase came from. And then, expenses, we pretty much looked at what we budgeted last year, but more importantly, what we spent last year. And then if it was gonna be any different this year, like if we had a lot of equipment that had to get serviced last year, but it's only done every other year, well then that would be an expense this year, that type of.
Well, these 2 boats are gonna be, well, one of them will be 1 year, one the next, right?
As far as budget, yes.
Expenses. That was a lot, it's looking like the second one's gonna be as expensive as the first one, except for the,
It'll be
Mail outs.
a little bit cheaper. Martha can answer that better.
I believe, wasn't it?
The last one was like about 8,000 or so, this one we've estimated 500. time I've just been trying to, the invoices that have gone out have had a flyer in them. So I'm trying to get them all out before the end of the month. But yeah, we didn't do the mail out, so that was $2,000, and there was like a couple of things like,
The, like, banners, yard signs and stuff, we're gonna
We're-
reuse what we can, just put a new
yeah.
sticker on or whatever.
For the different date.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. Any questions about the proposed?
Hazmat fees. You budgeted 4,000 last year, you only collected 2,100. But this year, you budgeted 7,000.
That went up.
We increased our hazmat fees in the last vote.
But your fire dues, you budgeted 267,500 last year and only budgeted 225,000 this year.
We went off the
Look at the
actual-
line below that,
Separated.
it wasn't split out in last year's.
Yeah.
We broke it out between business and commercial, business and houses. This time.
Which is helpful because it allows people to see that increasing the business fire dues is not a great savior that's gonna pay for the entire fire district. It's really a minuscule portion of our total income.
So what are y'all gonna do different this year to collect more of the fire dues for the non-business? Because with the two combined, y'all went up, which makes sense, cause there is an increase of housing. But you went from 267,500 to 278,300. And you only collected 194,836 for this year.
As we stated, it's a proposed budget, so we got to have a little bit of variance. We're trying to stay within our means, and due to the 80% collection of fire dues that we typically run at, so there's a fluctuation in there. So.
And long and short is, you're absolutely right. We can put it down on a budget because it's technically what we're owed. It's technically what we're supposed to collect. And just like the numbers that we put in for, payroll and everything else, that's really our best educated, projection. But long and short is, this goes right back to dues increase. If we can collect every single penny we're owed, which never happens in any district ever, we can skate by the skin of our teeth every year. If nothing goes up and all the good stuff comes in perfect and none of the bad stuff goes in worse. But
If you watch the tape, I voted against this budget. Not because I disagree totally with what's going on, but I think the board, along with the chief and Martha, really worked to try to get to a balanced budget. And I commend them for that. My concern is on the income side, which you guys are talking about. 100% collection of the fire dues is not gonna happen. Last fiscal year, we sold a piece of equipment, a tanker, we sold some property, and we still dipped into savings to get through the year. So, like Daniel said, this really all boils back to the increase. We have to have that increase, or we're gonna be looking at cutting services.
the original proposed budget actually did show us having a budget shortage. I voted against it and campaigned to make it a balanced budget, because that's what needs to be presented as a balanced budget, and I do think there's actually some grant concerns there. But at the same time, the realistic look here is, if we don't get a dues increase, this is gonna be a real bleak meeting next year. And it's not exactly the most happy thing this year. But it's gonna be real bleak when those actual numbers come in next year, unless we got a whole bunch of people. Don't worry about shaking boots and holding helmets upside down at the truck stop. If you're not out knocking on every single door saying, hey, did you pay your fire dues yet? Let me take the check up to the fire hall for you. We're gonna be in trouble. Cause what do we have left in savings?
$40,077.
$40,000? It's running out.
Yeah, and we were debating on whether to put a line item in here for $40,000 savings account for a new truck, but like Daniel said, we try to lean towards being balanced more than.
But then look how few people came to vote in July. I mean,
And we've been talking about it
look
for
around.
over a year almost.
I mean, I used
Since last October.
there might be a few meetings during the year where there might not be many people there, and sometimes we'd have a room full, but the annual meeting was always packed out.
And
It's just-
we've had several annual meetings at the church because we had to, and
Payroll.
So have you had any thoughts about where you might could cut something somewhere if you do go over,
Like I said, I think the board along with Martha and the chief sat here and they cut this thing, the expenses to the bone. I mean, they took every dollar out that they could take out.
Yeah, I think
I mean,
we
you
sat
gotta
here
operate, you have
for
operating
3 hours.
costs here.
Yeah, looking at things.
It's not, this is not fear mongering. This is just reality.
No,
here.
it's,
If you really honestly wanna find a way that we can operate on the money we have, then we need to line every firefighter up here and have the members come tell us which one doesn't get to work anymore. Not because, or which one's gonna get a shift
You're
cut.
not gonna get anybody here to do that.
No, you're not, but that's essentially what's happening when you're saying
But-
our primary expenses, payroll, equipment, managing this equipment, and all of those prices go down if we go to, say, 12-hour coverage instead of 24. So you may not be saying, hey, I'm gonna fire you, but you might be saying, hey, you're gonna get one shift instead of 3. And that's the painful reality of where is there room to cut.
and how much did you spend putting insulation in Station 2?
Not anywhere near enough to cover that, and we got more money from grants than we actually put into it. For the Station 2 that the members really want, because we have a whole side of the interstate over there that, guess what, when they start tearing that bridge up finally and putting in a double diamond interchange, how do you think we're gonna get firefighters over to that side of the interstate when that starts happening?
Something why we have for the last 40 years.
Well, you can say that, but McCalla actually had to put another station on duty with 2 more men over there for that same reason. Because they couldn't risk getting somebody.
I'm sorry, I just like, well, most people don't care, and I mean,
They
people
don't.
don't.
A lot of people don't
I try to
realize.
tell them, you need to come to me, we're in danger of losing our fire district. Now, that'll make them mad for just a minute, but then they go on and they don't care.
At the end of the day, they don't care till they get bit.
What is the employment expenses?
Which line are you on then?
Second one.
Second one.
Employment expenses consist of uniforms, training, and awards.
So on payroll, y'all budgeted 230,000 last year. You spent 240,000, but you only budgeted 235,000.
So I can explain a little bit of that. So last year, at the beginning of the year, we didn't have but like 2 firefighters. So they were working a lot of overtime. At this time, we have 5 that's kind of rotating around so that we're trying to eliminate overtime pay.
And we adjusted the overtime rate to match the Department of Labor for firefighters and police salaries. So now they're not gonna get overtime as quickly.
So, yeah.
In the pay cycle, basically.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's
So yeah, that's basically all the realistic cuts that can be made to the employment side of things, short of cutting fire coverage to the community.
And payroll's not just the firefighters, you got Office
We don't.
personnel.
The whole
Yeah.
table and.
Yeah.
Well, you got work comp and insurance and all that stuff too.
Insurance has its own line.
That's different.
Compensation insurance.
Yeah.
I mean, just like recovery delinquent dues, we brought in 36,000 and some change last year, and we're shooting for 40 this year. I mean, that's a guess.
So brought in 50
We're
last
at
year.
55.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry.
Surplus
Yeah,
items
I was
is
looking at the
looking
wrong
at.
line. My bad. Thank you. Yeah, so 50, so we're
Been super aggressive.
trying to play safe there.
Hey, Tyler, what did you take in grants last year? You have-
Money wise,
yeah,
what
money-
did it add up to?
Money wise.
I can tell you. Give me a minute,
Cause that isn't even considered in this. What he got in grants.
Like grants are what saved our budget last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was, as saved as it was, I mean, we're still $42,000 over, $41,000 over.
Tyler's been doing a good job getting grants.
I mean, between grants and collected back dues and that stuff, that table over there paid for itself.
Well, the thing of it is you're rolling into the next year with delinquent dues, because you're focusing more on the delinquent dues than you are the dues that are here and now,
Well, I don't think that's the case.
as much.
I think they're getting their dues out very quickly, but, hey, one of the big things that is in that same vein that is a problem is if you were here for our, annual audit, what was it, 2 months ago? Don Wallace stood right there, right next to where that, right next to where Tracy's sitting right now, and flat out told us that that well is running dry. Like, we may be doing really good at collecting back dues, but that means we're running out of back dues that we can realistically expect to collect. And we're gonna start coming across some people that we can't really collect from without spending way more money to try and get it.
Can you not put a lien on their property?
These people have liens on their property,
They don't
but to
pay.
enforce a lien, they either have to sell it so that we can collect it at closing.
Refinance or leave it, leave it to somebody and they can't inherit it till they.
Pay the liens and stuff, so there's that, or the other thing is, there is judicial foreclosure on it, but you're talking about spending more than we would ever get out of it to try and cause a massive mess. That's why it never really happens.
So if the increase passes, is county gonna collect the dues?
County's gonna collect our dues regardless, aren't they?
Okay.
That's-
Does that start this
Okay,
year?
so they're not gonna get those.
Next up.
Not
You've
this
been
year.
getting more next
We've already
week,
started
you
doing
think.
this year.
We're not doing any of, oh, that's right, cause they only do the, improved properties.
If this don't pass,
If I understood your question, once the county starts, our percentage collection go, was that what you asked or not?
No,
I'm sorry.
No, so what you were saying about not getting any more of the delinquents once they start collecting, that will still be on us here to go after delinquents. County's just gonna collect from that date moving forward.
Okay, but, it's not gonna be added in your taxes? I mean, on your tax bill?
I believe
Yes,
so.
it will
So-
next
So it's
That's
Next
what I'm
definitely,
saying.
If
definitely
it
gonna happen.
passes.
Then you should be collecting
But-
the delinquents.
I
No,
say,
they're not gonna
No,
say,
they
they're
may
not
go
gonna go
backwards.
through archives and look up all of them like that.
I
They're
suggest
just
that
gonna
one time
do
before
what
everybody
is
thought
owed
it
for
was
that
awful,
year.
but I put it out there.
And you know, they do it in arrears.
It is, go to rap.
And they're not, if they bill it and the person doesn't pay, they're not gonna collect that either, that'll still be on there.
Too scared to.
They'll send them a list of, this is who paid, this is who didn't.
Oh, so it's not mandatory that you pay it?
It
It'll
depends
be
on
on
the-
your bill.
But a lot of them, a lot of the other, departments around the county did it that way, because when it comes from the courthouse, they go, they're not selling my crap on the courthouse steps, and they pay it. So you're more likely to get it versus us sending a letter out and then going to sue.
You'll get your property tax bill and it'll have fire dues on it. And unless you're gonna take out your property tax bill and read it and then just do the math and just send in a check for $150 or $75 less, you're gonna end up paying your fire dues. So it's either gonna be you didn't pay your taxes, or somebody hates us so much that they're gonna pull out their tax bill and literally write the check for less. 'Cause
Well-
the county is gonna pay themselves first.
I would imagine more people than not, all that's escrowed.
Yeah,
So
and
the
a lot of
mortgage
it's gonna be
is-
escrowed.
They're definitely not gonna split it up, they're gonna pay it and
Yeah, the ones, you got a mortgage, the mortgage company's gonna pay it, and if you don't, the mortgage company's gonna come down on you hard.
Alright,
They will take your house and put it on the courthouse steps.
we'll move on to the fire chief's report for annual,
I had
I'm sorry. go ahead.
Tyler, are you not expecting to have, any more, maintenance,
Equipment or truck?
either? Cause you didn't go up on any one.
No, we kept it the same, cause we were under, equipment, no, equipment's gonna be about the same, cause we've got stuff that gets serviced every year, then we've got stuff that's serviced every 3 to 5 years. Truck maintenance, we left the same because luckily we were under this year, and hopefully it'll stay the same. But that's something you really don't know until it breaks.
So what is the $500 miscellaneous for? Just curious, since y'all didn't spend it last year.
Just things that might come up that's not in this list.
It's been there for years.
Yeah, we've always.
I think we've always had it.
Yeah, it used to go to, the,
Banquet, I think. Anything else? Alright,
I think we do need that measures to accept the, operating budget.
oh yeah, you're right. So on the operating budget, we need the membership to accept, I'll make a motion, we need a motion on the floor to accept the operating budget for this new year.
I'll make a motion to accept the operating budget.
Mary made the motion, I'll second it. And y'all both said it at the same time, Tracy Africa. Tracy second, all in favor? Any opposed? No opposed. Motion has passed. Okay, chief, your turn for annual chief's report.
This year, we had, this is just a list of all the grants, firehouse subs grant, FEMA grant, which was, micro, Tom Digby grant, and we had one grant that we partnered with the city on, and then the other was just,
like COVID money, that's what they call it.
was money that the city bought the bay doors downstairs for us, wasn't really a grant, but they done it for us. I added all that up, that's what I was doing, because Paul asked. That was extrication, vehicle stabilization, extractor and dryer for turnout gear, 2 chainsaws, 2 backpack blowers, PPV fan for the engine, 2 new bay doors, and the installation at Station 2. All of that grant money totals up to just under $75,000 worth of equipment and stuff we got this past year
Well,
that we didn't have to come out of pocket on.
Thank you.
yes.
It's $74,100.
Did we get some hoses, did they?
That was the year before.
That was year before?
Yeah. But
Hey, I
yeah,
still
year,
remember
Guys
this.
together.
yes, year before we got 30 sections of hose.
You need to keep that information for probably one of our next posts, so kinda highlight that, I would suggest anyway.
Absolutely.
yeah, who's making the post, cause it's
Uh,
been a while.
Recent ones,
Office,
Tyler,
Yeah, the one 2 hours ago,
Mhm.
the one 2 hours ago.
I mean, that was his, but there's been several in the last week or so that was Tyler also.
There's been, I wanna say 4 that I can think of offhand in the past couple of weeks that have been shared to various.
I know
areas.
of 3. Anyway, that was this year. Like I said, 74,118 is the exact total. Do we do call numbers since we're on a different time?
Just for the, yeah, at least up till this point for this year.
Well, up to this point, through the end of September, we're at 940 calls. Current, as of right this minute, we ran call 1,000 like an hour and a half ago.
Oh, wow.
Why?
They get that hydrant down
Yeah.
Is it out of service?
No, not yet.
there. I'm just saying, it didn't look like it was, but.
Increase the
I'm like,
hydrant
golf
budget.
club, where-
Now, that will
Right
fall
there,
under
we
that.
didn't like it for 260.
Add a hydrant.
Their insurance company probably would pay for that.
Yes.
Well, hopefully they hit one of the
I
batteries.
forgot this thing, but
Yeah.
the normal chief's report, the regular meeting.
Well, here's praying they hit one of the ones that was out of service anyway.
Did you wanna go over this, you fixing to do that?
Yeah, I mean, we can, also put on there just kind of future stuff, future goals, I guess you would say. I got continue improving relationships with outside agencies in the community. I say continue, but I think we've done a pretty good job of improving a lot of it, especially with the city and other departments around us and everything else. Start replacing the outdated vehicles. Start getting Station 2 finished out. Even if it ain't all the way, at least start doing something. We can put drywall or something over the insulation, start making some kind of progress. Continue utilizing every grant possible, which we've done. And then at the bottom, I've got, if the dues increase passes, hire 3 additional staff firefighters to put us at 2 firefighters on duty 24/7. Take bigger steps on the hydrant project. Establish purchase and plan for turnout gear, and obtain a ALS 2 level medical license.
That would be a non-transport.
Non-transport, yeah.
You don't make no money doing that.
We ain't trying to make money.
Non-transport, that's what I'm
We
saying.
ain't gonna make money.
You don't wanna make no money, you- Green Pond proved that.
Well, they're doing alright.
Well, I'm talking about the first time.
Oh, yeah,
Tyler, you're about the continuing improving our relations with outside agencies. Thank you for all that you've put into that. I know the mayor has said more than once in a city council meeting, he has praised you and he will support you any way he can because he's proud of and happy with you, of course. So
Yeah, I ain't had a single problem working with him. He's always eager to help us, so.
We appreciate you, Tyler.
He has been one of the best chiefs that the station's had in quite some time.
We ain't about to get head out the door now.
yeah. Starting out to see this swelling. They do.
Right.
That I'm definitely very proud of him.
Alright. So we're up to the election of positions for the board of directors. You're in seat 2 right now, correct? Am I right? What seat is Doug and Simon?
I expire tonight, that's all I know. I don't know what number it is.
Seat 2?
We're 2 and 4.
Yeah, but we don't
Doug's
have
in which
2, 4, and 5.
Doug's in 2?
I don't know.
That's what
It
I'm
just
asking.
says seat number 2. They don't have a name.
I can,
It doesn't really matter which one they decide they want.
well, one is only for, 1 year, there's 1 year remaining of a 4-year term.
Yeah. That was Angela's.
It's vacant.
He's asking who specifically is the number 2.
Doug, so seat 2 current is Doug, and then 4 and 5, Sonia is 4, and then 5 is just the remainder of that last year it's currently vacant.
You want to do 1 year? You want to do 1 year?
So, we'll
Tell me something.
go ahead and open up the floor for seat 2. Let's see, hang on. Wait. Do we need to review any qualifications? I don't. Or
Pretty sure everybody.
Well, you gotta nominate somebody before you can review if they're.
oh, you talking about for their qualifications?
Right.
Okay, I'm sorry. I thought that
What
was
do you want to do?
reading the.
He obviously qualifies, he's been there 4 years already.
4?
It's
I don't know, he could've changed, he could've moved.
Hang on just a second.
October 21,
Him
and
or
must be a
Sonia
registered
were
voter,
And then there was.
so resign the district.
Okay.
Okay.
We're good.
So I'm gonna, you want to make a motion?
Sure, if you want.
I'd like to make a motion, nominate Doug for seat 2.
All right.
I'll second.
A motion and a second on the floor. Any other nominations for seat 2?
Who made the second?
Daniel.
The nominations are closed.
I got it now.
We gotta move on.
Yeah, we can announce it. Any other, okay. Any other nominations for seat 2? One more time. Any other nominations for seat 2? All right, motion has,
Gotta ask Doug if he'll accept.
yeah. Will you accept, Doug?
Yes, it will.
Yes. All right. So we got a motion and a second. All in favor? I guess it's supposed to be secret ballot, but it's not unopposed, excuse me.
It's unopposed.
Yeah, it's unopposed,
They
so-
don't even have it a vote, it's unopposed.
I'll get it right here in a minute. It's been a while since we had a election, what, last year? All right, moving to seat 4.
I nominate Sonia for seat 4.
Second.
It was Paul and who?
Paul and Daniel.
Do they get raises?
Yeah,
Yeah, this time, right?
double.
Your salary on your
We'll put a
second term.
cushion under there.
Oh, we're gonna double their,
Hang on, let's finish this. Any other nominations from the floor? Any
Who
other
we gonna,
nominations?
who we gonna nominate?
I got a
Chairs. We'll nominate the
I
chair.
went to nominate somebody out here.
Yeah.
Looks like you accept
That's
it.
been
One
done.
more.
Knock on the door, hey, you get voted on.
Any other nominations for the 3rd time? All right, Ms. Sonia, do you accept
I
the
do,
nomination?
I do.
All right, it's unopposed, so it has passed.
Oh, fun.
All right. Seat number 5 is a 1-year term remaining on until next year, 2026. Do we have any nominations?
I got one, but she'll probably throw something at me.
I already nominated Mary.
Well, that's what I was talking about, I know she,
I
I know she won't accept.
I cannot accept it, thank you, but I nominated two at this time, thank you.
All
I just told you one time, pay good. You better think.
I mean,
I've seen no
right. It's a pack of crackers and a cold drink.
There you go.
but
I ain't seen no crack.
I have a question. What happens now if, do you attempt to fill that seat temporarily if someone comes along, or you go
Basically,
the next
yes.
year without it, or?
Becomes a board vote.
yeah, because we could have done that after Angela resigned it, because by the time all that happened, we were so close to this meeting, we just decided to hold off.
Is it gonna change the quorum number?
No.
It does.
Why you gotta
This
make
could be
it?
4 either way.
It's,
But you could also change it,
Cause you can't go to.
you'd have to have a vote and have to go through the legislators. You could change it to 5-member instead of 7.
Yeah.
I think with the size of it, you can't, it's based on the size.
Is it?
The population of the area.
I didn't see all that in there, I just seen where you
Yeah, it's based
I
on.
don't think spending $9 grand to knock 2 seats off the board would be all that great an idea anyway.
So,
Yeah, so we just beat the bushes and try to find somebody.
Yep.
Yep.
we got a,
I can't even get them to come to me.
seat 5 is still open at this time. All right.
How long can that stay open?
Indefinitely.
I mean, we got enough people to, as long as we have a,
It'll
we
give-
have a meeting. So.
It'll get voted on next October either way, because even if somebody took it tonight, that term is up next October.
Yeah, but if you can't get nobody to come do it for a year, who the hell you gonna get to come do it for 4?
We got a year to figure it out, Tracy.
I mean.
Hopefully we can
If
figure
it's
it out.
gonna
You
pass,
had-
so let
you
them
had
pay them.
more than you, well, I mean, at that point, you'd have almost 2 years.
Yeah,
Pushing on the vacancy on social media a lot, not just one
It was just
time.
that one time, and
Then
it
falls
ain't been.
down and nobody ever sees it again, keep putting it on there over and over, website,
And it's
Facebook,
not-
whatever.
You gotta
I've been
get-
hitting
wait a minute, you gotta
beauty
get the
shops around
minutes.
here.
Oh, God.
You've been, you've been
Where
in the
you been
wrong
on
side.
It had
You wouldn't know it, but he spends a lot of money to get his hair did.
All right, let's see, our last, business is membership business, I think,
I think
Mr.
these
Paul?
bylaws.
Yeah, if you wanna cover that right now.
Last month I submitted the 3 bylaws changes. The first one, is Article 5, it's, these are simple things. Amendments, these bylaws may be amended or repealed. And, amended or repealed, and new bylaws may be adopted by the members of any meeting of the members, or in a special meeting of the members, or at a special meeting of the members called for such purpose. And I propose to read, and this is the amendments to these bylaws may be amended or repealed. Newly approved bylaws will be adopted at the following month's Board of Directors meeting when approved by the members at any meeting of the members, or a special meeting of the members, or a special meeting of the members called for such a purpose. So the change is, you'll do what I did and submit it last month. You give them an opportunity to look at it. And then at the following month's meeting, regular board meeting, they'll take effect. That's what it's saying.
Because the following board meeting is the annual meeting.
No, it'll be the next, like tonight, it'll be the meeting.
What this does is, stops making bylaw changes that take effect in the middle of the meeting.
You can't do that anyway.
Pardon?
You can't do that anyway.
You can right here. It says right here, you can do that.
As it reads currently.
In the
As it
new,
currently reads, currently. The changes, it lays over to the following meeting.
And that may be something that's never been an
Here,
issue
you wanna
in the
read it?
past, but
So you can see which one I
no, I understand totally what you're saying, I'm,
Here's the one
it
that
may have never been an issue, it may not even be technically the way it legally can be done, but at least changing the language corrects it.
I'll make a motion, we accept it.
I second it.
Ms. Janet made a motion to accept, and Daniel second.
The next
Hang on
two,
just a minute.
oh, I'm sorry.
Get this cigar. Any other discussion?
Could you reread that, please?
She got that.
These bylaws may be amended or repealed. Newly approved bylaws will be adopted at the following month's Board of Directors meeting when approved by the members at any meeting of the members, or at a special meeting of the members, or at a special meeting of the members called for such a purpose.
So if there's ever any type of emergency or anything like that, you would have to wait an entire month. So if there was
Right now-
something going on, you would not have the option of it taking effect.
Right now, you have to wait a year.
And you wouldn't have that, there's not gonna be an emergency bylaw change, and you wouldn't be able to do an emergency bylaw change anyway, because you have to have a meeting of the members, which requires a 30-day notification anyway, so that's really an irrelevant issue.
So it would be 60 days before you could do anything.
Not necessarily, if you did one at this board meeting, right now, if you did a bylaws change, we have a monthly board meeting in 15 minutes after this meeting's over.
What about any changes that have to be submitted in writing, so many days ahead?
That's a bylaw change, ain't it? Can you think of any situation where we would need an emergency bylaw change that is absolutely critical to take in effect immediately right now?
Anything that you needed to change, the salary, the structure?
A specific bylaw change.
It calls in there for special board meetings, special membership meetings, so, I mean, you're gonna have a 60-day window, more than likely, in any of that. If it's called for a special, I can't think of anything that would drastically change other than, no, it's gotta be, the motion's gotta be made 30 days ahead of the meeting.
Well, no, she's talking about to call a special called members meeting.
Oh, yeah.
I believe it's 30 days, I'd have to look and myself, but it's, you have to, yeah, I think it's 30 days, that you have to tell the members ahead of time.
All right, so we got a motion and a second. Any other questions? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? None opposed.
Okay, I got two more here. They're simple ones, they're simply changing the time of the meetings from 7 to 6. And one is Article 2, Section 2, the annual meeting of the members of the corporation shall be held on the third Tuesday of October of each year at 7 p.m. If not a legal holiday, and if legal holiday, then the next day following or such date may be prescribed by the president for the purpose of considering and acting upon reports of officers and directors transacting such businesses as they come before the meeting. And the proposed to read changes it from 7 to 6, because that's what we're doing.
Okay, yeah, Martha made the motion in last year's annual meeting, I guess it just didn't make it over to.
Well, it's
the
a motion, now we're
Right.
changing the bylaws,
Yes.
that's all.
The wording, we
In
used
other
the
words,
right
put it
words
in
last year.
line,
Yeah.
And
other than the
you wanna
minutes.
vote on this
and
one, or
then
you
we
wanna
get
vote
the
on
whole
it
thing.
together?
Which what's that?
The next one is the monthly meeting, this is the annual meeting.
Let's do one at a time.
Okay, this is the annual meeting.
We have a motion to accept as read.
I'm with the motion.
Mary made a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll
I'll
second.
say.
Tracy second. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion passed.
The next one is on Article 3, meeting of the directors. It says the monthly meeting of the directors of the corporation shall be held on the third Tuesday of each month, 7 p.m. If not a legal holiday, if the date falls on a legal holiday, the meeting shall be held on the following day at a time to be determined by the board of directors of such date may be prescribed by the president for the purpose of considering and acting upon the reports of the officers and fire chief transacting to such other business as may come before the meeting. And the proposed to read is changing from 7 to 6.
The same thing for the board. of
Same thing as
directors.
the other one. This is the annual meeting, this is regular.
I'll make a motion to accept it as read.
Tracy made a motion. Daniel, you said second. Tracy motion. Daniel second. All in favor? Any opposed? None opposed.
It's gonna matter.
Got saved. All right, let's see, I think that's it, so we'll take a motion.
What about the November meetings, the November, monthly board meeting where the minutes were approved with the corrections?
Or the October
For the
24th
October annual
annual
meeting?
meeting.
What about?
They negate the meeting, the minutes that were read tonight.
Well, yeah, that's, we've already concluded that the incorrect minutes were read and announced that.
Yes, but they differ from that as well. So in the November meeting, it was voted that a transcript be included in the annual minutes with the bylaw changes that you made. The transcript was produced, it was read, and it does not include those changes,
Which one?
none of them.
So where's transcript?
The transcript was bad because everybody's talking and you can't make it out.
But
Oh,
you
yeah.
can make out that somebody said they took the motion, then this person took the motion, then they said, well, I'll take his motion, but I wanna change, but then we changed back. So there was no motion, official motion to do any one thing. It transferred here, there was conversation with the audience. The final vote was on somebody else's liking of part of this and part of that, but no actual
Well,
motion.
this tonight should supersede all that, since we just voted on the annual meeting tonight.
So the minutes that were read tonight are the official minutes.
Well, I believe that was also part of the reason why we moved to have minutes, or bylaw changes submitted in advance too, was to cut back on the repeated bylaw changes from the floor, arguing back and forth and rewording things 14 times, because we'd had problems with that in the past. I'm pretty certain that's what precipitated that change in the first place.
So, Paul's motion did not include anything about writing, so if his supersedes the last, then there's nothing about submitting it in writing, which is what I'm trying to bring. So do we want to include a portion about writing it down?
Well, this has already been
Right
passed.
here in the minutes from last month, it says, it doesn't have to be in a bylaw, it just has to be a procedural, departmental method of documenting this, so we can at least have our lawyer look at it, and whatnot. That's the main, I don't think it has to be in the bylaws to do. I mean, we can put it in the bylaws, but
Well, that's what I'm at, just so everyone is aware, so there is no written, it doesn't have to be in writing, it's just the same as always, only take
no,
notes.
it says right here, it needs to be in writing, but it doesn't say 30 days ahead of time, so we can make a.
With the original
Well, it is
motion
30
in the
days
previous
before.
meeting.
Why not just
Do
make
it
it
in the month before.
That's what it was.
proposal?
We can make a new proposal, that's
Yeah,
fine.
just
Yes.
make it new, that'd be the best thing to do.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Since that was just not clear.
So do you want to say, I'll make a motion that the bylaw changes,
We need to know what the section, can you bring me a copy of the bylaws, please? Or we amended the appropriate section.
let me see that.
Is it not on the website? Oh.
It is.
Should be under that right there, or 5 amendments, right?
Well, yes, if we just do it as an amendment, we need to know what we're amending.
We're not amending it, we're making a departmental policy.
We're adding to the bylaws in this case, but if we've already, if we've got a section.
All you need to do is make a motion for what you really wanna do. That supersedes the motion you made last year that nobody really knows what it is.
Alright, so here's the motion. I made the motion that we issue an amendment to the bylaws that requires any bylaw change to be submitted in writing at the meeting, the regular meeting of the Board of Directors prior to the members' meeting on which it will be voted. Or before.
Okay, so the annual meeting is in October, say that in the month of September, at the September monthly
September
meeting,
or before.
you need to submit your bylaw changes to be done for the annual meeting in October.
Well, we're also doing it for any special call members meeting, so basically you must submit it the month preceding or before.
But if you put one word, it does not need to be a bylaw, it needs to be a motion to
We're not changing
submit any, we're not changing the bylaws
for that.
for that.
Alright,
I
well,
need to make a motion.
procedure then?
Yes.
I make the motion that we only accept bylaw changes from members if they are submitted in writing at the board meeting, the regular board meeting immediately preceding the members' meeting on which it is to be voted.
There you go.
There.
I know something.
I'll write it down for you.
Please do.
What he said.
What he said.
What he said?
Now we need a second.
I'll have to watch the video.
Yeah, hang on. Okay, you got it, the gist of it.
I do, but then I'll watch the video.
Alright. So we do have a motion on the floor for that. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Yes.
Tracy second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? No opposed. Motion has passed. Alright. Now, any other business of the membership? Need a motion to adjourn the
I make a
membership?
motion to adjourn.
Second. Oh,
Y'all have this input for stuff.
well, we'll have one at the
Okay.
next.
They can make a study.